This is part 2 of session 6 of StarFinder, the Fragments of Eternity. I am Ryan, the GM. It is the 5th of November, and it is 2018 as far as I'm aware still. And here are the players.
Olka play Emmelyn, who is the pilot.
You're kind of cutting out a tiny bit for me. Can we try that again?
Yeah, sorry. Olka, Emmelyn, Lashunta, pilot.
Perfect.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Nico. I am playing Zora, the vest captain of the ship.
Alex, I'm still playing Nix 5, the android mechanic.
I'm Colin. I am playing the Borai bounty hunter, Lyko Quint.
I'm Zigg, the space rat. And
IRL.
oh wait,
And
no,
I play-
I'm Calum. And I play Calum.
Hashtag Calum is precious. Also, hello Nick. And for those of you who have stuck with us thus far, smash that like button. It just gets away with murder. So, smash
Ring
that
the
like
bell.
button.
Oh yeah, hit
Slap
the
that
notification icon to be notified anytime we release a new episode of the Fragments of Eternity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I shall now mute myself and let you get on with it.
Literally just here as our executive producer. So, where were we? I believe we were in the cockpit with Zora, who was going to do something. So you've ended comms with them. What are you going to do? You went back. You've thrown a knife at them. At the goopy thing, you pushed the button. The thing came out of the ground. You were staring at it. You narrowed your Veskian eyes, and then we cut there, and then we're back to you now. So yeah.
Okay, so I guess the first thing you'd try and do is probably try and gently push the sled, gravity sled.
So that
Bubble
thing's
sled.
right at the bottom. So yeah, you can lean down and try and maneuver it. Yeah, I mean it is a hover sled thingy, so yeah, it does move when you push and pull it. No, it's not easy. Obviously, it's still heavy, but yeah, it's a bit lighter than when you try to maneuver it back on the ship because now there isn't the casing around it.
Yeah.
As you get closer, maybe you see the shapes of what looks like half-eaten casing, as if it's not perfectly gone. It's just been eaten down the way.
Right, cool.
Mm.
Yeah, I would try and gently push it towards the cargo exit.
Well, you'd be pulling it towards yourself, yeah. So you'd need to pull it
Yeah.
back the way, and then you'd need to slide open the cargo wall, if you will, and then pull it past all the crap again from the cargo ramp. So you're just looking to pull this off the ship, or?
Yeah, just getting the hell off the ship.
Okay,
Don't want this on the ship.
Why ever not, Nico?
I don't know, I mean, there's just a mic. That was so loud, that one. Yeah, I don't want that thing on my ship. It's a terrible idea. Could come in handy, but let's not keep it. Let's not keep it. I want a pet, but this isn't the kind of pet that I want.
Okay. So, as you oh god, that's such a good roll. I've been rolling, by the way, in the background, just so you know. So, as you lean down, you start pulling towards the doors. You stop. You turn round. You start sliding open the cargo hatch door thingy to pull this into the cargo bay. And then you turn round and you hear a sloop and a clunk, 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 and you look down. There's a grenade.
Oh my god, I would pick it up and throw it at the cargo door. It's like PTSD
yeah,
shit right
no,
there, man.
Of course you would. Yeah.
I'll probably dive for cover after I do it.
Would dive back into the smuggler's compartment, or
Yeah,
Into
why
the
not?
into the wormhole? In I go! The land of chocolate! Okay, so yeah, so you just hear this rattling noise. Do you want to give me a wee throwing check again for me?
Okay.
It is. People want to give me that page reference at 405 for this card rules.
245.
Yeah.
Why is my Y button not working? Oh, there we go.
Why?
Why you wanna work? Why?
Why?
That's
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, you're basically trying to aim it so you don't clip anything. Let's face it. In the cargo to get it down the cargo, like the length of the cargo hole and the hatch at the back. And yeah, you just like you hear the clanking as it like maybe like bounces off the ramp and out into the hangar, and you like dive in and maybe you slam the shutter door to close off the false wall to the smuggler's compartment. And yeah, how long do you wait until the party catch up? Like an hour
Standard
later,
grenade.
or
standard grenade time, you know, like 5 seconds
yes.
or something.
1 SGT.
1 SGT, yes. 1 standard grenade time.
Sure, yeah.
If I don't hear
so
any
like I
explosion.
think as you like slam and you've got like the heavy breathing in your armor and like you slam the door and you've got your back up against the door like bracing for the explosion, and we've got the shot of like Zora on the ground back against the cargo door bracing it, feet maybe against the other wall of the smuggler's compartment as if waiting for the metal to be blasted in, and you've just got the side shot looking at Zora, and in the background the fireworks of course, but also the shimmering silvery blue liquid kind of cube thing, and at the other side the light from the flashlight just shining through, like refracting through the mass, just kind of illuminating the smuggler's hold. And then we'll fade out there and we'll go to the other guys running through the corridors. Are you all like running, or are you just going to at a leisurely pace?
Nice healthy
Like-
jog.
Yeah, a jog.
Cool,
Sorry.
because Alice can't keep up with anything that isn't a walking pace if you want this computer. Just
I-
so you know.
We don't
I
want
think
to.
we were
I
just
think
leaving
we
it.
decided fuck it.
Cool. Right, just wanted to double check. Just to confirm at this point you did decide to bail on the computer. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So Alice is quite pleased by that because it means she can jog alongside you guys. Yeah, do you all want to give me athletics checks?
No.
I mean, I'm not super excited about it, but
Do you want
I
to
can-
type as well, or
No, that's fine. Alex has covered it. You can all just put your checks in there.
Yay. I'm not a man of athletics.
I, however, kind of am.
I
So
mean,
you-
why didn't you want to roll athletics? Colin?
You've seen my dice luck.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
that's unholy blast levels of luck, that one. So yeah.
So Lyko's carrying us, yes.
No, I think what happens is everyone goes, right, okay, let's just bail on the computer and run. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to forgo making a check for Alice because she really can just keep pace with whoever because she's in a power suit. So that's kind of fine. Yeah. So I think Alice kind of like jogs in the middle distance between Lyko, who's kind of sprinted off like a tactical run.
Love
And
it.
then you've got like Emmelyn and Nix, who kind of maybe both take that extra second to register Lyko's run past. But to be fair, it makes sense that Lyko takes point. And then
Yes, it does follow.
and then Nix just kind of turns and runs, and then so does Emmelyn. But Lyko, like you very quickly realise you're losing track of them really quickly as you're like running down corridors and like noticing all the locations where Zora clearly passed. You know, like spilt glasses of water and stuff. You know.
Oh yeah. Surely shaking glasses of water, like.
Well, that's long since passed, yeah. But they fell
Yeah.
off. They shook that much and smashed.
Okay. I suppose if I notice that I'm losing, I would losing them. I would tone down the pace a bit and let them catch up.
Yeah, no worries.
So there's no point in separating here.
Like basically, maybe they're a wee bit more shaken by the whole situation than they've let on. Hence why they're not really keeping pace. So it's going to take a good while for you guys to get back. You can let me know if you're going to be specifically doing anything. As Alice kind of starts to jog past both Emmelyn and Nix, she's like, I mean, I could carry you both if you want. And then kind of like slowly like does that slowing down jog type, almost animated kind of thing, where she's kind of like, I'm just slowing down to keep pace with both of you, but trying to be polite at the same time.
Alice, get to the ship as quickly as possible to help the captain.
She kind of like salutes in a really over-exaggerated way, and then turns around and just gives you like a wink and a thumbs up to Emmelyn, and then she just like bolts right past. So maybe like Lyko, as you'd like turn round to be like, oh god, I've lost them. Oh god, it's those two. They're slow. And then like you head back a tiny bit. Maybe you go around the corner and you see that they're just getting round the long corridor that you've just tacticaled your way up. That's a phrase. And
Yes.
you see like Alice just like power like T1000 style power boost her way right past you. She salutes on the way by. Not worrying at all, of course.
No.
And then obviously maybe like you're kind of like maybe you stop, turn around and see her like vanish round the corner, and you turn around and maybe by that point you've got Nyx 5 and Emmelyn a bit closer.
Yeah, seeing them catch up, I would continue at pace because I know they're not dangerously far behind.
Okay, yeah.
And I think I'd probably Nyx will nod to Emmelyn as if he's done a favour by sending Alice off.
What do you mean, as if?
Nice. Yeah, so I think we cut back to, unless Emmelyn, you want to add anything to the scene?
No.
Oh,
I
cool.
think that captures it.
Yeah, we maybe click back to Zora in a blue silhouetted lighting of the room. That's the smuggler's compartment.
Yeah,
So 10 minutes have now passed, or 5 minutes first, right? You wait longer than 5 minutes?
Nah, grenades tend to go off a lot quicker than that if it was going to go off. So,
Sure.
um,
Yeah,
Just-
so 5 minutes and nothing.
yeah, so I would probably crawl out of the compartment again.
So
Kind of
as like
wipe the sweat off my brow.
So, like, if you're gonna be
brow.
if you're going to be waiting the 5 minutes, the out of the shimmering blue cube, you hear a sloop clunk, and if you look over, there's like a laser pistol sitting.
I could come in handy. I could come in. I could go. Yeah, I'd pay no heed to the laser pistol, and I would probably just like grunt and like, I'm getting this off my ship, and I would just start pushing it off the
So you
ship.
get back up, like
towards-
pull back open the half wall, and start pulling the what used to be a crate out.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Give me an athletics check to see how quickly or smoothly this process goes.
Okay.
Just to remove crate, I guess we'll do.
Remove crate, and athletics. Click. 15. That's terrible.
It's not that bad.
terrible.
It's actually not the worst. Yeah, like it doesn't. It's pretty much the same amount of time it took you guys to get it back on in the first place. Like it's not easy. Like even though it's a bit lighter now, you don't have the help of Nyx, and also you're not just pushing against a crate wall. You're now like awkwardly trying to keep your distance while moving it.
Yeah, I'm being careful about it as well. Probably try kind of full length arm sort of pull it, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
leaning back away from it, sort of idea.
And maybe that's like there's a couple of comedic moments where like if you didn't have a tail you'd have fell over, you know. So yeah, like as you like pull the thing out, you get like scrape it past some things in the cargo bay, and then yeah, like maybe it grazes some of the things in the cargo bay, and you see what looks like almost like silvery lines where it's grazed it, almost like as if like it's exposing like new metal. And then
I would kinda
I don't mean like
once-
random bands appear and they start playing their solo hits, but yeah, I mean.
I would just be like wincing, like, oh, Emmelyn's gonna kill me for that.
I love how like you own the ship, but yeah, Emmelyn's gonna kill you for that. The creepy psychic there with sunglasses in space is gonna get in my head, all up in my lizard grill.
Yeah, it's a terrifying thing. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
big and strong, but I can't handle mental screwery.
Yeah, the whole process maybe takes about like 10 minutes of awkward moving and like nudging it to the left a bit, pulling it a bit, nudging it right again, pulling it a bit, scraping it past the Viktor pollen thingy. Yeah, I mean like you slowly just drag it down the base of the what do you call it, the ramp, and maybe by that point you hear like the wrenching of the doors behind you. So this has maybe been what 15-20 minutes maybe tops.
Mm-hmm.
and then like you hear the wrenching of the doors, and you just see like the black armored Alice like go in, and like she like smiley face on like the faceplate as she like wrenches the doors and sees you. Then she steps in and does that thing where she hunches over and like crouches down and goes, whew, ah, whew, and then like rolls her eyes and then looks at us. There, all the way, you know.
You don't
Ooh.
realise you don't have lungs, right?
And she kind of like stands up and like looks really sad, and then she goes, "Yeah, but it is no fun."
Ah, don't judge.
Then she points at it and goes, "I didn't know you had an assembly ooze."
A what?
And then she points at the blue cube. An assembly ooze.
Oh, you mean the wormhole?
She goes, no. And just kind of looks at you and then kind of like, you just see like the weird holographic flicker of the faceplate. And she's just staring.
What's an assembly ooze?
Are you asking her this or are you just incredulous?
Yes, actually, I didn't mean to laugh. What's an assembly ooze? I would ask.
And then she kind of just like points at it again. She goes, "That's an assembly ooze. You put stuff in and you get stuff out. They can be programmed.
Ah,
They're illegal though." And then she kind of like frowns at you.
Maybe I want to drag us back on ship now. This could be a handy thing to have, you know.
I think as you say that, yeah, like a doshko, just like a really, really basic like version of a doshko, like sloops out and clanks on the ground, which kind of startles like Alice. She kind of goes, "Oh," and then she kind of like looks excited because she sees a doshko, and then she points at you excitedly, and then points at the floor excitedly, as if you're meant to connect the dots.
Ah. Then I assume there's probably going to be a knife pot next.
And she kind of looks a bit confused. Goes, "Why? I thought you didn't know what this was." And she kind of like, as if you asked me what this was. Why would you assume you know things about it? Indignant face.
You'll see. Just watch.
And then she kind of like, you see her just looking at her hands, then looking at the ooze thing, and then looking back at her hands, and she like closes her fists and like kind of like almost like folds her arms. And then you can see that she visibly takes like a step back, as if, And then she kind of just doesn't really say anything.
Well, I'd probably just wait. Vesky in excitement for the knife to pop it because he's so sure of himself. Like,
yeah, like I mean, like I don't know, 10 minutes pass, 20 minutes pass.
God damn it!
Alice is just kind of standing there.
Okay, there's no knife pot in it. Where's the rest of the? Why are you the only one here? Like,
I think
where's the rest of the crew?
We'll fade out as you start staring at it, right? And it does that kind of time skip. Because I want to see what the others do. Can you all do me some other athletics checks, please? From the rest of you guys. And we'll see how quickly it is that you take to get here. Right, so we'll get Lyko to roll that again, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll reroll in a second. No, that was a me.
So, yeah, you're still good. You're still the best of the bunch.
That's what I like to hear.
I like that Emmelyn's got worse. I like that though, it's like, I'm done. Which makes
I'm
sense
so
to...
tired.
Yeah,
I'm not used to running.
Also, you were under a lot of other pressure, right? Literally. Session 5, I think, was called pressure. So, like, you were under all of that.
I've had a tough day.
So no wonder this is taken out of you. As I said, dice rolls make the most sense. Lyko's obviously slightly more invigorated by not having creepy eyes on him, and Nyx is pretty average. So
I think Nyx should probably be holding back next to Emma if she's struggling.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Lyko, you notice that you're pulling ahead again, and maybe I don't know. Does it grate on you the fact that they're like the unfit kids in the class?
No, he's probably used to being a bit quicker on his feet than most people.
I think we prefer the term support classes.
Yes, these are in support classes, and nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so it takes you guys, like, all in all, it takes about an hour because Zora has pretty much steamrolled his way through this entire area. But like it's pretty slow going, whereas it maybe should only have taken about half an hour or whatever. It's just slow going because maybe Emmelyn's not feeling great, as well as the fact that like Nyx is hanging back deliberately, and Lyko occasionally loses sight of you and comes back, so he's doing double the distance everybody else is doing. But yeah, so all in all, you guys get to pretty much the hangar doors that have been like wrenched open. Obviously there's lots of flashlight and dark vision moments that will nicely montage your way past, and you get to the hangar where you've got Zora staring at a blue cube of like almost transparently silver liquid, and then Alice is just standing with her back against the wall, leaning against it with her arms folded, quite a distance from the cube. So these are all in the same room now.
Took your time.
There's also still no knife, by the way.
I'm upset.
But there is another laser pistol that pops out.
Is this your wormhole, Captain?
Yeah, it's not a wormhole. It's assembly gel. Whatever that is.
And I think maybe like the camera has Alice in the shot and she just points at it when he says whatever that is, and she just points as if indicating that's what that is. And goes back to having her arms folded.
So
I think
Assembly?
Emma will be quite curious, so she'd walk right up to it, just have a look.
Sure, yeah. I think you see like as Emmelyn like walks up really, really close to it, you see Alice like almost reach out as if to try and stop her, but then kind of like closes her hand and pulls it back, and then obviously you carry on walking. What was it you were going to say, Lyko? While she's walking towards it?
he was just going to query the name, like assembly cube. So
what I love is
assembly.
she said assembly ooze, he said assembly
Cube.
gel,
I
and
heard-
you've said
yeah.
assembly cube, and I love it.
I'm
Assembly cube gel
Look.
ooze.
ooze. Sorry. Assembly.
Assuming Alice is right.
Ooze?
Well, he said assembly gel, so that's what you heard.
Oh, okay, I will. Let's for the sake of continuity have me repeat that. Assembly gel.
And then we'll have Alice just say ooze, just to correct you.
Okay, he'll do a quick thumbs up. Ooze, yeah. So, what is it assemble?
Zora would kind of point to the various equipments on the ground.
Wow. How does it do this?
Zora would shrug.
I'm assuming it's some form of nanobot processor.
Alice like walks up, picks up the laser pistol that just kind of slooped out of it, and then just like throws it back in casually. Is it like almost slow motion? As soon as it makes contact with it, it like stops moving, then slowly sinks into it, and like the blue liquid all goes all silvery as soon as the thing comes in, and then you hear that kind of faint, kind of buzzing, vibrating-y sound, and then the kind of like dark kind of density vanishes. And she like Alice kind of like points at it and looks back at you and gives you a wee kind of sarcastic type thumbs up back to you.
So I was correct to say don't touch it, Captain.
And then a knife sloops out of it at the other side of it.
Ha! Ha! I told you, Alice!
Just so you know, I rolled and got a knife, just so you know.
The infinite monkeys.
But yeah, Zora would just be looking so proud of himself right now. Like he's just solved the next Nobel Peace Prize sort of idea.
So this is what they were having us delivered to the station.
Alice kind of
Almost
like Alice. The person goes, "Really?" Hands on her hips.
Well, that was what was in the crate, as far as I can tell.
She goes, "Oh, I don't get it," and then kind of turns to the group.
You were going to sign for this, weren't you, Alice?
Kind of like looks shifty at her feet. Kind of scuffs her feet in those really big clunky, like, you know, armoured legs that she's got now. He goes, "I mean, that's the deal, right?" And then kind of looks straight at Zora.
He would nod, but would you say that there was kind of like almost suspiciously shaking of like like looking down at her feet and stuff.
Well, no, like it's kind of like, you know. She made the deal to get off this station by saying, "I'll sign for this package," which means you have official kind of like note that it was delivered, so your job's complete. Basically, so you get paid. That was what the deal was, and the deal was that she gets to get off the station with you guys because she doesn't want to stay here. So that's kind of a, you know, her going, well, you want to kind of keep it now, and she doesn't really want to be left behind. She doesn't want you guys to like go, oh, we got back to the ship, goodbye, Alice, fuck you. You know, hence why she's kind of like, yeah, that's the deal, right? It's kind of more of a, she knows she could just be ditched kind of look. It's not like, you know, she's felt super welcome.
I don't think
That was a deal. You would nod.
Cool.
So, what do we do about the ooze then, Captain?
Well, the job was to leave it here as much as I'd like to. It's so loud outside. So.
Yeah.
The captain's experiencing comms difficulties.
Just some minor explosions.
If
I think
I,
Oh, sorry.
sorry, no, you.
Okay, so I think as Emmelyn's like looking at this thing and hearing this conversation, I think she just said, "I want to keep it."
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I mean, they're all. He does, you know, mimes finger across the throat. So, if anything, we could offer it back at a later date to someone who
Leave a note. We sorry we missed you.
isn't goop.
Can we check Alice with the... Hello?
You're here.
Yep.
Here.
Can we check with the station sensors, see if any of the crew have reappeared?
And she kind of like looks at you, as if she's finally taken her attention off the cube thing, and she turns and goes, she kind of like looks up at like the lights that are like kind of dim and flickering. Goes, can we? As if asking the question back to you.
Alice, I have a question.
Oh,
If you're not attached,
if only
to the
Alice knew who
station
Beyonce
system,
was.
how can you sign off for this?
And she kind of like looks at you, goes, with a pen, and kind of shrugs.
But wouldn't it need to be on the station systems for them to confirm that we completed the job?
She kind of like raises an eyebrow, and she turns to Nyx. She goes, your captain is strong and brave, and nods as if you know this to be true. But he really doesn't know how interstellar communication works, does he?
Probably nod. You'd probably nod at that. Like.
And she like turns around and like smiles, like and closes her eyes and smiles and gives you a thumbs up, and then goes back to talking to Nyx with a serious face, and goes, I don't want to offend the Vesk. And she kind of mock whispers, but obviously it's just their speakers. So, and then like kind of like smiles, and then like thumbs over to Zora as if it's on you now, Nyx. Explain.
The station will obviously have its own systems, but it won't be directly connected to Absalom's. So, really it's our datapad that will act as proof of delivery, Captain.
You just see like her standing with her thumb like up, but it's like at like waist height, as if it's been there the whole conversation.
You would nod. You would just nod.
As you nod, like she's just mirroring it as well, like she's just nodding as well, as if, good, I have not been trashed by the Vesk.
So, Alice, if you can sign that datapad, and I guess we shall decide whether we leave this really useful piece of technology here.
We keep it. I vote we keep it. I want to keep it.
So I think at that point, right? So I think at that point, Alice then turns. Like maybe she stands in front of like no, Emmelyn's right up at the cube. Zora's nearby the cube, looking at this knife in amazement and nodding at Alice, and then obviously Nyx is a bit closer to the door with Lyko and Alice. And Alice like steps in front of the line of sight of Emmelyn in between Nyx and goes, "I'll sign it on Absalom Station," and gives you like a big kind of howdy thumbs up.
But can we confirm that we have delivered it?
On
And you will sign
Absalom
it.
Station. And it does like it just mirrors the exact same maneuver with her hand. You hear like the servos going.
What I mean, Alice, is if we decide to keep this, will you still sign that we have delivered it?
In this scenario, do I still leave the station?
Yes.
Then on Absalom Station, and smiles with a big thumb up.
I think we're okay then, Captain.
Yeah,
Like,
everything seems in order.
I think at that point, like the way that scene goes is, and I think everything's okay here, Captain. Like, Alice looks momentarily confused until she hears Zora answer, and then goes, "Oh yeah," as if I'm not the captain. And obviously the captain says, "Obviously, yeah, okay, yeah." So now you just need to decide what you're doing with it. Yeah.
Back in the smuggler's compartment.
Yep, somebody's gonna have to push it back. I'll be in the cockpit.
Someone's going to need to deal with the hangar doors as well. And I guess Zora would kind of huff and start pushing the crate in towards the ship again, because you just pulled it out.
Well, there is that, yeah. So, things to consider, right? You've seen this thing, for lack of a better term, eat everything it's touched. I leave you with that.
It's in a box, right?
No. It's on
No.
the
Box is
hover.
gone.
No, the
It-
box has been eaten.
It's on the hover.
It's
thing.
on the bottom of the box, and like there's only tiny bits of the sides of the crate left, like almost as if, imagine that it was all made of cardboard and you tore off the top part of the cardboard and it still left remnants behind. You know, it's as if it's just been slowly eating the crate from
So
the top down.
The battery was powering a containment field.
I mean,
The
you could
conclusion.
say that, right?
Yeah.
Seems
And I think you actually did say that, so here we are.
Shh. Would there be any way to recreate that with stuff we've got?
I mean, you have a whole research station at your disposal, right?
I mean, that sounds. If the crew is wanting to keep this thing,
Mm.
we should be able to salvage parts for it.
I mean, in theory, right? You could ditch one of your, modular compartments and look for something to store it in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got a passenger compartment, a cargo compartment. The cargo compartment's pretty full, thanks to Emmelyn, and the smuggler's compartment was full, thanks to this thing. So that's space you've got to play with, right? Now the smuggler's compartment's a bit more difficult to change because that was like a special fit thing, because it's like hidden. But the two back slots are the cargo hold and the passenger hold. So, yeah.
Let's check. Did we have two cargo holds?
Yeah,
Uh,
do we not have more than one?
No, you just have one cargo hold. I believe anyway, maybe.
It's like anything we didn't pick, we didn't like make it into
Yeah,
a
that would
thing,
become
it
cargo,
became
yeah.
a cargo hold.
It should be on the ship's sheet on roll 20, the 11th hour. Let's read that.
That's what I was looking for. Yes, we have two cargo holds.
Okay, so you've got two cargo holds, and as I
So we
said,
can turn
one of them is pretty full, as I said. But yeah, cargo hold A and cargo hold B. Let's say A is full.
So we can jury rig B into a.
I mean B or the passenger seat, because that just folds away, right? To technically make a second cargo hold. Excuse me. There's. Wait, you actually did take escape pods? What?
What? Did we?
It's on the sheet.
No? Did we?
It's
It's on
literally
the
on the
11th
sheet.
hour?
It's on the sheet. I hope it was paid for.
That doesn't seem like that should be on there.
No. There's the sheet on the Google Drive
Right.
that's got like 4 extra slots that are empty.
Mm.
I don't know if that's up to date.
Someone's going to have to do the maths for session 7 and work out which one's accurate, because you know how much you've got. You've got 55 points to spend, as we know from the luxury rooms costing an 11th of the entire ship budget.
Well, you will get them.
But needless to say, we'll assume there is a cargo hold that could be converted to contain this if you had things that could contain this. But yeah, so
Hey, Alice.
she turns the opposite way.
This thing is obviously meant to be kept contained, but what about turning it off? Or maybe inert would be more accurate way to put it. Can you render it inert in some way?
And then she kind of like looks at you and she goes, "Have you seen a snowflake?" And she kind of looks excited.
Not recently.
And she kind of like was a bit sad for you. And goes, and she goes, "I've only seen pictures of them, but," and then she like projects a picture, like it's obviously like a really rudimentary, like a child with a crayon has drew a snowflake, and like halfway between a snowflake and maybe a spider's web gone wrong, and she like projects that, and she goes, "If you turn this off," and it just mimics it like melting into a puddle. She goes, "How would you turn it back on?" And she kind of looks at like you and Nix, as if maybe Nix will have the answer, but also at the same time, I don't have an answer for you, Lyko. Is the way she's kind of holding out this hologram to both of you.
Okay, so that's probably not the route we want to take.
Also, why does Alice explain things the way I explain things? I don't know.
I wonder. Yeah, no, that sounds like a dead end. So I think he's gonna just basically give up on that.
And then she kind of like, she stands and she's as if she's been thinking about the problem for those 4 seconds that you gave her. And then she's like, "Well, if yous were meant to deliver this, it wouldn't just be left," and then she like gestures vaguely at the hangar. "It must have been getting stored somewhere, right?" And she kind of looks around at everybody as if, "Am I right?"
He would probably just be nodding, not knowing what she's talking about, but he's just nodding in agreement.
I mean, that depends what they were planning to use it for.
"Who sent it?" And she kind of looks back at you.
That's...
Confidential.
yes.
There's a courier-client confidentiality.
"I thought I was the client." And she kind of like smirks.
I mean,
But
so
you should know who it was if you're the client.
can I
So-
just quietly come to her the name?
See, before like you do that though, like Alice narrows her eyes and then like smirks and smiles at the same time. Like a smile, smirk,
Smiled.
a smirks, and then she looks at Emily and goes, "This is the most you've ever spoke to me." And then just kind of like gives
I
you like a cold
immediately-
stare though, like it's like a very like non-friendly, cold, blank stare. And then obviously maybe at this point we've got a Lyko coming.
I would just avoid her any eye contact. Pretend it didn't happen.
Cool. Yep. Makes sense. That's what she's used to. Lyko?
Okay, yeah. At that point, then I'll sort of comment, or maybe even as that's happening, I don't know if she would be able to pay attention to do things once. Presumably, I would comment, just sort of quietly, Wesland, but obviously in his accent, not mine.
Yeah. She kind of like turns to you, and then like obviously her mouth doesn't move, but you hear through the comms, "Balloon." and then like she winks when she notices that you're looking at her, but you've got your confused face of "Pardon? What?" And then she just like winks, and then like kind of waits.
Don't quite follow.
Are you just saying that to her?
Yes. Quietly again, like
Privately, yeah, private comms.
yeah,
She goes,
privately and quietly.
yes, both. She replies, "I don't understand either."
The name. Who sent?
No, like if you say the name and pause, she'll go, "Alice."
Oh god, yeah, that's.
Can the rest of us see this conversation happen? Like, can we see his
Well,
mouth
like
move?
you probably do because obviously it's in his helmet, right?
Yeah.
But like you've just got him staring at her and talking, and then her just looking, but her faceplate doesn't show her talking. So yeah,
Our regular contact.
and she kind of shrugs at you. Like the name means nothing to her. Like if you said Wesland hoping for a reaction, there was zero reaction.
Yeah, well, he'll pretty much give up on that. I mean, if he realizes, well, no, actually, this is kind of a sick area because I don't know if this would even work on her. Would I be able to sense motive on her?
In what way?
It's simply because she's behaving very much as if she has no clue, but she seems like she might well actually, not based on any of her behaviour, just based on the position she's in.
Okay, well,
Like she's
you could roll based on the way she replied, like the tone that she used, the inflections, etc.
Yeah.
There's nothing from body language you could gain though.
yeah. So would I be
Yeah, you can roll. Yeah.
just oh shit.
Oh.
I mean that's a bad roll, but
It's okay.
I haven't even typed.
Yeah, you
what
didn't
it
type.
was. We'll do that.
As I
so-
said, I kind of made that rule of typing first, so I feel like we need to stick to it.
Okay, sense motive. Does Alice
What does Alice know?
recognize name? Why is it? I'm typing.
I really
like
want you to
this.
get like a
It's
natural
awkward.
20 on this, just so she knows.
I mean, so did I, but I'm never gonna.
You in fact didn't.
I did not.
No, like you get nothing. Like there's no hint of her trying to hide any information. She like.
I mean, my first insight was that she would be honest, but it also, for one thing, it occurs to me it'd be very hard to know if she wasn't.
Exactly. Yeah. Plus, the only thing you've really got to go on is way back. Was it the end of session 3? I think it was, where she pointed left and right and opened both doors, and it goes, "We need to start trusting each other. So I'm going to start trusting you. The thing I want is this way. The thing you probably want is that way." And then she left you to it. So, I mean, no point has she really. I mean, she also opened her entire source code up to Nix 5.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's also not freaked out too much when she was like, "Wait, you guys have been on the station before, actually. That's new. What's this about?" So, you know, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm fairly satisfied that she genuinely doesn't recognize the name. It's slightly weird because he would presumably be expecting her to receive delivery.
Okay. Yeah.
And you would expect that perhaps someone in this end, but maybe for security reasons, his name isn't recorded anywhere.
I mean, maybe.
You know. So yeah.
Maybe
that seems
he's your
perfectly-
handler and get nothing to do with shipping.
Yeah.
There could be that.
Very good point.
Or it could just be that, he is an employee in a galactic and interstellar-wide company. And thus, the idea that he'd be listed in anything that even remotely came to a secret research station as well. I mean, like, there's a lot of, there's various reasons why she might not have known. Or she could just be great at lying.
Or just incredibly hard to read, because that's the reason I asked. It's not
Mhm.
just the typical role players can I. It was a very deliberate can I, because
Yeah, like,
obviously,
I think, based on the way she definitely tries to mimic you guys, right? So, if you guys were inflecting certain ways to get certain points across, I mean, she'd be trying that too, right? Based on what you've witnessed so far. And she does seem to try and be as human as she can, for lack of a better term, human, So yeah. But there's, you get no hint of that she's even reacted to it.
But yeah, I'm
Oh, you've cut out.
reasonable to have an answer in this. She just doesn't know.
Yeah. pretty much. She doesn't know. Yeah, is the gist of what you get from that. Yeah. What's everybody else doing? Is they just stare at each other kind of intently?
I'm assuming, because nobody said to the contrary, that we've decided to have off with this thing.
Oh, you actually just stood quietly.
Sorry, you both broke up a little for me there.
We're all kind of breaking up a little, but Colin, I think it's mostly you.
Oh,
'Cause I can hear everybody else fine.
okay.
But,
I was just saying that I assume we're nicking this then.
What's the
because-
consensus like? So everybody's standing, kind of, maybe the ooze is kind of in the middle of everybody. You've got Emmelyn at one side, Zora at the other, and everybody else kind of in front of it.
Well,
Alice is
Emmelyn's-
probably the furthest away. Obviously, Emmelyn's claimed it, yeah.
And if nobody says otherwise, I'll assume that's...
It's kind of
opinion.
Zora, right? Zora, like, I think the buck ends there. So yeah, Nico.
Oh.
Have we lost a Nico?
Have we
Because
lost
I think
Nico?
you're muted.
Nico?
My mic's muted. Silly me. Do we know where this containment field is even be kept? Do we have time to be looking for a containment field?
I mean, I don't know. You spent 20 minutes waiting on a knife, so
I mean, I was waiting on other people, right? I was waiting on other people.
like you've literally done nothing to prep the ship for launch. You literally went and conned people. There's a wormhole on the ship. I'm gonna go stare at it. Bye. And then
I'd
you basically
paved the way
watched it like generate armor and make like a pistol, and then you threw a grenade out of the back of the the hatch, and then you've stared at this thing for a knife, and now you're deciding maybe I'll put it back on. I would say you've wasted a lot of time. Not to say it's a bad use of time, he says after using the word wasted, but you know, yeah.
Okay.
So it's up to you. If you want it, you probably want to try and contain it. If you don't want it, I mean, you don't really need to bother with it at that point. But I think Emmelyn wants it, so
How about it put it this way? Alice, you help me get these hangar doors open. And if the rest of you manage to find a containment field by the time that I open up said hangar doors, we can keep it.
Can I make another point, Captain?
Nod.
If we don't find a containment field for it, and we leave it here on the station, there may not be any station left at all. If this thing continues to tear everything apart.
Zora would shrug.
Alice would shrug.
Just wanted to put that out there.
I mean, I feel like Zora wouldn't care about the station personally, but like, it's kind of almost barking up the wrong tree.
Just on the off chance that somebody might get annoyed at us being the root cause of the entire thing being destroyed.
I feel like there's a lot more problems on this station than just this. He would kind of stretch his arms out towards the cube.
Yeah, but the less we can end up involved with that, the better, I'd have thought.
I feel like we're going to be involved in it regardless, Nix.
Fair.
They've got security footage of us killing people on the station
Well,
from a time we didn't even arrive on the station.
Emmelyn, at your feet, just so you know, like maybe you go to move and you hear like a shloop, and at your feet falls what almost looks like really like rough, like a microchip attached to what looks like a kind of like red banded visor.
Oh. I pick it up.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Just like a weird piece of technology that fell out of this thing.
I pick it up and pocket it.
Cool.
As she's wont to do.
Yeah.
I think in that case, I should best be looking for containment field parts.
I mean, yeah, cool. So, who's on team get the hangar doors open, and who's on team let's not have this thing at the station?
I think the only person that could maybe even help with the hangar doors is Alice. I'm not entirely sure.
Would Emmelyn be working on prepping the ship?
I think.
Oh.
Well, I think she wants to keep the thing, so she's gonna try to help look for the thing to keep the thing. You know.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
So, helping on team scavenging.
yeah, that's what I'd be.
Nice.
Although I think she'd first go to the cockpit and just check that everything's okay.
Her bobbleheads are still there.
Yes, exactly.
All being replaced by cubes, you know. There's another schloop, and then like at Zora's feet, there's just like a coil of cable that gets dumped at your feet.
Could come in handy. I'll pick up the cable.
Yeah, it's like roughly about what you can write down 30 feet of a titanium alloy cable line.
I've already got
Fantastic.
30
What
feet
I've always wanted.
I mean, I've been walking around with that in my pocket this
happening
entire
visibly?
time.
Yeah, like you're hearing schloop,
Just like this,
and these things are just being slowly ejected from it.
So, what parts are we looking for specifically?
Well,
Just for Emmelyn's benefit as well, you'd need to identify the thing before you'd work out what you got. Just so you know, Emmelyn, you're muted if you don't know.
Sorry, that what?
So obviously
Bit
the thing that you got, the piece of technology, you'd need to get
Yeah.
it identified by someone to know what it is. Just so you
That's
know.
fine.
Whereas his
Okay.
was just a like actual cable, so
Yeah. No,
So-
that's fine.
so we'll be looking for some form of force field projector. I assume that Nix would be able to give more of a description of what he would.
don't know, why don't you
What
give me an
components?
engineering check?
That sounds
then-
like a roll.
You can write cube question mark or whatever to just state what this is about. While you're doing that as well, Nico, do you want to do your hangar doors, and then what are you going to try and do, athletics them, or like how are you tackling the hangar doors?
I was actually going to ask Alice if there's any system that she could think of to open it up. Because, I mean, I'm not going to be able to drag a hangar door open. That seems impossible.
Sure, yeah, we'll deal with that in a second. Right, next, yeah, you can like rhyme off a couple of things to make like almost like a suspension matrix, you know, like magnetic fields that suspend things off the ground, etc. Not a million miles away from how the hover pad works, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be more like containment emitters to house
So-
something. Parabolic such and such, and DVD this and HD that.
And copper wire and whatnot. Yep.
But yeah, pretty much just a suspension matrix. I think I sci-fied that enough. And yeah, Alice can suggest roughly like places that those things might be as well. But she kind of says it in a way that makes her sound like she wants to do anything else.
And we're going to leave her to work on the doors, aren't we?
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to roll for her. Okay, yeah. So she goes up to like the wall panel that Nix originally went to, and then like she then like pulls part of the paneling off because like the holo display doesn't pop up. And she like you heard the kind of wrenching of the kind of metal kind of plasticky kind of cracks all through the white like the Apple product type visual that this place had, and it all buckles and breaks, and then you just see her like push the hand of the suit into like the wall, and then you see the holo display flicker on as if she's powering the computer console from her suit, and then you just see like her flickering through loads of screens really fast, and she's busy. So yeah, right, you guys just want to do like, is there an investigation skill? Is that a skill we have? What do we have?
Well, that should be perception, probably.
Is it just
Yeah.
perception though? Let's have a
We
look.
only have perception.
That seems
There is
really
no
low.
I think it would
investigation in this.
depend where you're investigating specifically. Like the sense motive would be investigate person. Basically, you
Yeah.
know, it's sort of.
It's just some skills have like perception, some have
yeah.
investigate. Where's our skill list? Where is the skill list? I've got it here.
It's
Cool.
perception.
Blah 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 blah
just
blah
blah.
blah blah.
Your
Yeah, it probably is.
description
Just probably is.
Get down.
So yeah,
Perception
just want to
is
perceive.
search.
And does
Yeah.
somebody want to help? So I think the help roll goes first, right?
Yes. Help goes first.
So
No, no,
who's the main looker, and who helps the looker look?
Who's got the best perception?
I mean, that would be me. I think I'm on
you.
a 7.
Yep.
Now, how did we discovered last session, and I've already forgotten how we
Help. Help. Let's have a look at
was it a
Calum.
DC? Oh god.
Wasn't
Maybe-
that like a
Maybe we should put this in the
A
FAQ.
DC 10 to add a +2. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
That's
Yes,
what I'm
DC
thinking.
10 to do a +2.
I feel like it makes sense for Nyx to look anyway, be the main
Mhm.
looker because he'll know what to look for.
Makes sense, yeah. You guys can help.
So, shall I help or shall you?
I think we can both help.
I think the rule is like
Or is it
What's
just
like
one
a-
I think
person?
that was GM discretion if you want multiple
yeah,
people.
like I mean I don't mind if you want to both help because I think you could cover a bigger area, right? So it makes sense
Sure.
that you could technically both help in this situation. Like there'll be definitely situations where I'm like, nah, it'd be actually worse with more people. But yeah, go for it. You can both roll. So just write help and then do your rolls first, and we'll do Nyx's roll last.
Help! Well, that's more than 10.
Yep.
This is great, I love it.
Cool. And will these generate? Is it a +1 or 2?
It's
Believe it's
+2
+2.
each.
Cool. Yep. So you can roll yours with the +4, but write in I don't know, whatever.
Search for stuff.
Yeah.
That's descriptive enough.
That'll do. I know what it is. I say it just needs to be kind of good enough. Yeah,
+4.
Yeah.
So that's a 27.
cool. Yeah, you start going through some of the more like almost storage units that are where you would move things from ships that have docked to slightly more secure storage within, almost like areas that have access to big cargo lifts that would move up and down the central column of this place. And yeah, as you're all searching through that, I'll come back to you in a second and reveal exactly what the results are for dramatic tension, and we'll go back to Zora. So Zora, with your explosions happening in the background, if you're still with us, Nico, you are muted in many levels.
Hello.
There we
sorry.
go. Good. It's fine. I just wasn't sure if you're still with us. So Alice has pretty much plugged herself into this console, and she's kind of like scanning through everything she can. And yeah, she takes a wee bit of time. The others have been gone for maybe like 10 minutes, 20, like maybe 10 minutes, I'd say, at this point, as they were searching for like components and stuff. And then Alice, like you hear like a laugh that's like a weird electronic dial-up noise. And then like she like pulls her hand out of the wall and the hologram flickers off, and then she turns round and she stares at you, obviously hoping that her laugh got your notice.
I got my notice, alright.
Yeah.
Got my notice.
Have you done anything in the meantime while she's been there for 10 minutes, or?
No, I've probably just been staring over her shoulder, to be
Cool.
honest with you.
Yep.
The window.
Well, maybe like she gets startled with how close you are when she turns round, and she like laughs and goes, "Oh," and she goes, and she like points over your shoulder really excitedly and goes, 5, 4, 3, 3.5, 2, 1, and then like she just points at the hangar doors.
And I would look.
Nothing happens. She just kind of like goes, "Oh,"
My eye would start twitching.
and then she kind of like just pats you on the shoulder, and she goes, "I'm not very good at this." And then you hear like as soon as you turn round to her, you hear the clunk of like the hangar doors start to open, and then the room starts to decompress.
Oh.
Yeah, you hear the scraping of the ship on the floor as it slowly slides towards the opening hangars, and then like you hear Alice like say, "Oh," and then look down, and she checks, and the camera does that flicker to like the mag boots with the little red lights on them to let you know that they're all like they're active, and she goes, and she, like the shoulder patting turns into like a grip on like your forearm, and it's quite like a firm grip, as if she was going to make sure you didn't fly out of this place. And loads of random helmets and knives and pistols start getting sucked out into space.
What about a certain cube?
I mean, it's sitting happily on a hoverpod thingy. It doesn't seem to care.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, the hoverpod can just stay still in a vacuum. That's impressive, actually.
But it's currently floating off the ground with no obvious power source, so yeah, it's pretty bitchin'. Since it wasn't affected by the blackouts either, right? That's odd.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Um,
That's actually pretty true.
Not that I'm pointing out things I roll perceptions on, but like I think with that you just have "oh," and then her gripping your shoulder maybe, and everything slowly kind of like tumbling over the top of the ship and flying out as the camera zooms out with like the idea of it following the vacuum of space outside the hangar doors. We cut back to you guys in the storage rooms. And yeah, next you walk up to like a big again, like almost like white plastic new product sheeting that's sealed over something. And it, like maybe like you've got Lyko picks up like a shipping manifest like datapad thing that's like flickering on and off. Seems to imply that this is like a storage unit for like a main hangar storage unit. You've got Emmelyn kind of like maybe like realizing there's very little that you need in this area, so you're like aware you probably won't build something that will contain this thing out of the parts you have seen visibly in this room as you are walking around with your torches and stuff. And yeah, you see this big plastic kind of thing. Maybe you start to run your hand up it and like peel off the plastic, and it just looks like a very, very big kind of plastic see-through giant, almost aquarium-looking thing.
Ah.
Yeah.
Exactly what we're needing.
It's almost like they were expecting this delivery.
And if they hadn't all
How
been...
strange.
Yes, right? It's almost like they had prepared locally nearby for a containment unit to house such a product.
This looks... So, team.
So maybe like the shot's just like you like starting to pick at the plastic, and then you pull it and it does that thing where it does that whole like tent zip shape around it and it falls off and it's just a big shiny plastic containment pod thing. And maybe Lyko just tosses the data pad away.
Yeah.
I believe I found our containment field.
Yeah.
Shall we,
Now my question to you guys is, are you going to do anything else now? You've got the doors open, you've got a containment pod, you're going to jam this thing in it, you're going to push it all back in, you're going to hollow out a cargo bay. What's the plan? Talk me through it. Montage me, guys. Describe how you've prepared this ship to go.
I would suggest getting the containment field in first. Make sure it works before putting the ooze back on.
I mean, Zora, you know what it was like getting the ooze in and out.
Yeah. I think having the containment field up and running is probably a good idea first.
Mm.
Let's not take the gel on
the
the ooze on the ship without prior.
Yeah, sure, without prior.
Let's just not do it. Yeah, let's just not do it unless the field works.
Right.
I lost words.
Evidently. Right, okay, let's say you spent some time doing that in like 0G, basically. There you go. There's a nice image for you guys.
Oh.
Like you had this all planned.
Almost like I had this all planned.
Mm.
I think once we found it, Emmelyn would head back to the ship to get it started, get it ready.
Like I think you're maybe like off getting the ship ready as they're trying to like cram this in to the cargo bay. So you might want to update the ship sheet.
Yes.
That you have this as one of your mods.
Assembly bay.
Character sheet. I
So
will
it's-
edit cargo hold.
Like assembly ooze containment unit, I guess is maybe the best thing to call it.
Assembly.
And then while they're doing that, can you give me a piloting check, Olka? And by that I mean Emmelyn.
Yep.
And obviously
Oh,
typo first.
it's the first
Pilot.
pilot check in everything.
It is? For anything specific or just like getting the ship started?
Yeah, just like getting the fuck out of Dodge, maybe like. Shippy McShippy.
Getting chippy. Getting chippy
Yeah,
with it.
good. Like, yeah, you find that maybe things need an extra kick more than normal. Like maybe it has been struggling to like maintain its like power generation throughout all the effects, but the ship was relatively shielded from things like EMP and radiation and nonsense like that. Like it's not like designed to be, you know, a battleship. But it is like the standard background radiations it's designed to filter out to keep people from not being just instantly cooked inside. So yeah, you're starting to like boot the thing a bit more, get it up and running, etc., etc. and then like the ship comes to life a bit. Like as you guys are like slowly trying to like cram in this thing and like rip out parts of the ship to fit this in. I'm going to need you guys to do some engineering checks. Probably an X5 is probably going to be doing an engineering check.
That seems wise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
nice.
Zora, what are you doing during this? Because yeah.
I feel like I'd probably just help them like heave the objects in, I guess, because like.
I'll tell you what, you give me
an
an athletics check to see how much you can help rip things out. We'll have Nix5 do a engineering check, but if before you do that Nix5, if you want, like, I mean, somebody can help, it's probably likely that it'd be Lyko. Since, yeah.
Yeah, if we're gonna do athletics.
Well, it's not athletics for him, it's engineering.
Those are nat 20.
There you go, thank you. You're usually good for at
I
least
love
in a
my
session.
nat 20s on these
Yeah.
athletics.
Yeah, that's.
So like maybe Zora really hated this cargo baby, so never liked cargo
Finally,
baby.
we get to do something with it. Finally.
I mean, to be fair, from an apex predator species, right? B is never going to be great. So
Oy vey.
I know you love it.
Only
So-
these alphas.
So yeah, like I think as users are like, all right, cool. We'll need to like maybe next 5 leads with, oh, here's what we'll need to do. We'll rip this out. We'll do this. We'll have to move this. And you just hear like Veskian grunts and rip things out and paneling come out, rolling down the ramps. And it's like, never mind. Slowly starts heaving the containment unit in. Do you want to give me an engineering check for you to actually connect the thing up?
So
And as I said, if Lyko wants to help, it's an engineering check.
I don't actually have anything in engineering. So am I the?
I mean, you could still follow instructions, right?
Yeah. So I could. Shall I roll to help first, or?
You go first.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to
With
help
you.
because this could go badly, right? So
Help.
I need somebody help.
I mean that's more than 10, so that's nice.
Yeah, even if I was going to penalise that by you having no like skill in it, it would still be enough to help. Well, so yeah. Yep.
Good
Yes.
enough to hold some wires.
+2. So that's a 25.
Not bad, yeah. So I think all in all, this maybe takes the better part of an hour, and I think the station is it's got this weird eerie silence to it besides your comms, because obviously the place is in a vacuum now. The parties are in the hangar, and yeah, there's this, as I said, anytime you aren't working and clunking on stuff and the sound vibrating through your suits and whatnot, there's just this odd like discomfort of silence, and then like engineering noises and sparks and various things. Alice has done nothing but just kind of follow Zora around, keeping like a respectable distance, but also at the same time kind of like, I am here to help. But again, you get this fitted in cargo bay B that can get to hell away from the character sheet of the ship, and yeah, you have stocked the ship up, and then Emmelyn can take you out when you want to leave.
Was there anything else that people wanted to do on board?
I think we're all pretty eager to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get off this thing.
Yeah, so I think as you all take up your like positions in the cockpit, maybe Alice is closing like the cargo bay door, and I think maybe the last shot we see of you guys on the station, as like the engines like start to like burn up and they like obviously light up, and you slowly like take off from the metal plating of the landing for the hangar floor. Alice is closing the ramp up, and you just hear like, well, the audience hear her say, "Goodbye, home," as the kind of cargo bay door shuts. And then we have this shot from like further out, looking back at the station, and you just see like the glimmer of the engines pulse brighter, and you guys like fly off a bit like a comet. And then we will harsh cut to you guys coming out of, drift space, because what I would like to do is we'll go back over this next session about what you did in drift space, if need be, but we'll hash cut to you guys approaching Absalom Station. You drop out of drift space, and then your computer goes wild with like incoming messages. So you get a stream of messages, and then one of the messages has like almost categorized itself as more important than the rest, and it's pending and it's on the screen flashing. You can all be in the
Let's bring up
cockpit
that
since,
message.
let's face it, you all dropped out of drift travel and you all go to the cockpit for that. I think that was the established norm.
We should probably read that message right there, and I'll point towards the extremely important flashing one.
And as you acknowledge it, it just is like a list of instructions saying... It's one of those things where it's worded like it's implying you're invited, but you know you have no choice. And it's from the Aspis Consortium. And it's you have been invited by Mr. Weslin to meet blah 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 blah, and it gives you the directions and the building and stuff, and it's one of the Absalom it's on Absalom Station. It's in the corporate sector, and it's essentially their embassy that you're going to on Absalom Station for the Apsis Consortium. You have an appointment, essentially. So yeah. Can I have a wee piloting check to land on Absalom Station from you, Olka?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
They crash into the side.
I'm gonna try not to make this
Hmm.
one.
I just here we go.
I get so nervous
Oh.
in these roles.
So good.
That's good.
So
You're not
good.
a Stephen. Thank God. Thank God.
The game is still early, so
it's still.
right. So yeah, as you're pulling into the station, it then starts to initiate docking procedures, and then the auto dock procedure takes over. So you almost slave the computer of the ship to the station, and it takes over for you. It's assigned you a docking space. You've actually got one in reserve, which is nice and rare, which means it's all been paid for.
Oh dear.
Yes, and there's another message, and it's from a certain crew member that you're meeting here, and it is maybe Zigg, you can tell me, what is the email that you would have sent them for them to expect you?
It would be something along the lines of, "I am here," and then I think it would start with, "I have arrived at Absalom Station. I will meet you here." But I assume we'd have agreed on an expected return date for such a simple delivery mission. And I feel like there'd be a whole spam of emails preceding that going, "A day's passed. Not a day past. A few hours. You're late.
Yeah.
You're late. Where are you? Right.
Maybe every
I've
hour.
gone to
Let's say
this
they're
place.
maybe
I'm
they're
now in this place."
18 hours late or something. Maybe they're 18
Yes.
hours late, and there's 18 additional emails, one per hour.
Yes.
Just for
And then
"Hi guys, still
there's a
here."
few Yep, I'm here. Yep, no. Okay, now I'm over here. I'll see you here. I'll just wait for you at the hangar. Oh, maybe I'll come. I'll meet you guys at this establishment here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
it's all
you should probably have an established meeting place on the station. It wouldn't be a specific hangar because you wouldn't know what you were assigned.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a place that you would meet. Maybe near, maybe the gardens in front of a monastery within the Absalom Gardens or whatever, which is now a place. So there we have it. Yeah. You can all land. You just land. What are you staying with Alice and the Assemblyus? Just leaving it on board.
I think for now that would probably be wise.
Should we
Yeah.
ask Alice to watch the assembly ooze and tell us if anything changes with it?
She tells you no. She says she's not going in the room with it.
You really don't like that thing?
She then plays back the video file of her throwing the pistol into it and it dissolving, and her tapping on her arm.
Well, don't fall into it then.
She kind of scowls at you and then blows raspberries, but it's that horrible weird digital equivalent of raspberries, so it's a horrible mic noise.
And I
Like
walk off.
Yeah.
You don't need to go in the room, Alice. You just need to make sure nothing else goes in the room.
She looks around, kind of there's something else here. But yeah,
There's many people here.
so yeah, I think we fade out with Alice on the ramp. Obviously, as you guys walk away, and then she looks around, and goes, "Hello, home." And then we fade out there, and you guys are heading up, and maybe you're on I don't know, the equivalent of a bench overlooking a pond or something, peaceful and serene, Zigg, and your crew approach. So how friendly are you guys with each other? Does anybody run up and with open arms, be like, "Oh, it's her space rat again," or what? Go for it.
Medkit.
I totally just like I scurry up like super fast, like you've arrived, and just stand there going like look at my wrist for like a watch that isn't there, and just look expectantly, as if waiting for some sort of explanation.
It's complicated.
I will pat your head patronizingly and wander on by.
There were complications with the mission, Zigg.
We're glad to see you, though. We're glad we survived.
I love the idea that like Zigg's like, oh, you were delivering a crate, cool. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad we survived. Looks off to the middle distance.
Just kind of stand there, sort of confused, just head cocked to like one side, and just like one eyebrow sort of up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll hear all about it when we get on the ship.
We brought a thing
Somebody
with
you're
us.
probably going to meet as well.
Oh, excellent! I sort of like scurry off, like just around everybody.
What was it Emmelyn was going to say there?
We brought a thing with us.
We brought a couple of things with us.
Oh yeah.
Well, one thing and one AI.
This over convolution here is very entertaining, but yes.
Just one thing. We know you like to touch shiny things.
I do
Don't
like to
touch the
things.
shiny thing.
Don't worry, it makes more shiny things.
You see sort of like his eyes sort of light up.
You can see like the reflection of a sun that isn't being reflected in the eyes. I think with that you hear like someone clearing their throat, going.
I would turn around in attention because that's probably like happens to me a lot.
Yeah, so you turn around and there's like a really well suited and booted, like in a very business suit, very well groomed hair, kind of slicked back, woman, kind of nervous looking, kind of stands, and then like has like black kind of leather gloves and stuff on, the kind of almost very tight fitting pinstripe suit, tie all very fancy and done, the pin of the Aspis consortium on the tie, and then she clears her throat again and goes, Associate Bradlin Button, and then puts her hand out, basically to the group, and kind of slowly moves it across the group, waiting for someone to shake it.
I would give her a 2-finger, like a handshake, like thumb and
Yeah.
pointing finger sort of thing.
She kind of like politely grips it and does the kind of one like affirmation kind of shake of it, and then pulls it back and like puts her back behind her hand. Goes, I'm here to escort you to your appointment. She kind of like looks a bit nervous again and looks around the group as if you're an odd bunch of people, because you are.
Would kind of just put out an arm, as in, like, after you.
Well, you look like you've got this handled, Captain.
I would kind of give him a dirty side look.
I'll reiterate as well,
As
on the
in, you're
invitation,
not-
everybody was listed except Zigg.
You're not getting out of that easily next.
I think, like, Nix, you're fully entitled to have known this, obviously, anyway, because everybody read the email, I think, but everybody that was listed on the job is listed on the appointment with Wesland.
Would Zigg be joining us?
And then, like,
You know,
I think, like Bradlin looks, and then she kind of looks a bit confused, and goes, looks down at her, like, her wrist, taps her wrist twice, and then, like, a hologram appears, and she kind of, like, dismisses it really quick, goes, you may bring your, kind of, like, nods, like, almost, like, with reverence to what is obviously a fairly, I'm assuming you're in some kind of monkish type religion-y robes? I have assumed this, of course. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of more of like a, like half like a toga sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so she kind
Can
of
I also say that Zigg is not paying attention whatsoever? Is kind of just looking off into the distance, contemplating the possibility of a shiny thing producing shiny things.
Like the sun producing this entire galaxy. So yeah, she kind of like goes to nod reverently at the small monk, but then kind of notices not paying attention. She goes, "You may bring your entourage." And then she like kind of gestures towards like what looks like a very fancy black hover limo, and in fact is.
I mean, yeah, that follows. That makes sense.
So yeah,
Zigg.
do we have you guys actually head into here, or are we going to do the RP every second of you getting to this limo? And are you bringing Zigg or not?
I think I'd probably try and shake Zigg out of his dream state.
Yeah.
Come along. We have an appointment.
I kind of sort of come back to quote unquote reality, and I would
Oops, there
like
goes
to
gravity.
kind of scurry up to the back of Nick's 5 and just sit like on his back.
Knowing that we would have this meeting, I would probably address slightly more formally.
Yeah, like you all probably are in slightly better. Like you're kind of, I would say,
I think we
still
all had a shower after the other
Yeah.
group.
yeah,
No low
definitely.
pressure showers.
Probably wearing a military uniform.
I love the low pressure shower said with such scorn. Well, maybe you can buy fancy showers with the money you might make from this job, right?
That's the dream.
Maybe
Yeah,
the ooze can make them.
just.
Yep.
Hey, well, I mean, you could just jump in the ooze to clean yourself. Who knows? Could always get
As
a
an
go.
android, I would not be doing that.
I was gonna wait to see if you're gonna react to that. Yeah. So anyway, like you probably knew you're having a meeting. Zigg knew nothing about this meeting, of course. And yeah, like he's head into the limo. The obviously, Bradlin is sat in the back. Like she's the one that basically opened the door, let you all in, and then stepped in and closed the door, and is essentially there as kind of the doorman, if you will, or door person, I guess I should say. The limo like picks up, travels off. There's not much in the way of traffic in Absalom, which is why this is quite a luxury. Like being transported within the station this way. Again, it's just the obvious opulence of the Apsis Consortium. You do that kind of nice, what do you call it, like either Blade Runner or Fifth Element style shot of you guys flying through some like city peaks, and then you head into like a fancy like Aspis Consortium logo that then obviously opens into a garage because that's cool. You fly in, you land, she kind of clears her throat again, opens the kind of like paneling of the limo wall, and then like kind of like gestures for you all to kind of come out. Then you all get out, and then you head to the assigned meeting room because we're going to skip all the yous actually having to walk there and me confirm that yous walked their part. So yous are shown to the meeting room by Associate Button, and she like stops in front of the doors, turns around, kind of nods until everybody's kind of standing a bit like as if you've now congregated. And she kind of looks at yous all, clears her throat, turns around, opens the doors, like kind of pushes them open Aragon style. And she then steps to the side and gestures into the room.
I would just walk on through.
Yep.
Right.
As you walk
Follow
in,
the captain.
yeah,
Follow the captain. Yep.
it's very kind of opulent, but it's a mix of somewhere between Art Deco and the 60s and 70s style of like really vivid colours. You just walk in the main like central part of the room. There's like a sunk down circular red, like really vibrant red sofa. Very like quite big. And as I said, it's like two semicircles that meet, if you will. And in the centre of that, there's like a sunken fire pit that's not on at the moment, but it's got like loads of kind of various kind of shaped coloured rocks in the middle of it. And obviously the rest of the room has got like a bar to one side, some more kind of seating and desks and stuff at the other side, and sat just at the at the sofa with his kind of like legs crossed and his arms kind of leaning back over the sofa is a very familiar face. It's Edgar Wesland, and you see him. He stands up as you enter the room, and he slowly like walks around the fire pit, like steps out of the steps of the sunken seating area, and goes, Thank you, Associate Button. That will be all. Clears her throat and closes the doors behind you all. And then he kind of looks at you all, just kind of draws his eyes right across the entire group and down to Zigg, raises an eyebrow, looks back at Zora.
Mr. Westland, you would say probably, like, you'd probably tell that he didn't enjoy saying Mister. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I hate these formalities, like, sort of idea. Like,
And then, like, the eyebrow kind of like goes back into its position. You see him kind of like reach in to his suit kind of jacket. Pulls out what looks like a kind of cigarette holder. Pulls out a cigarette that kind of makes out almost like an electronic kutch noise. And then slowly like draws in a breath of a cigarette that just glows with a blue LED at the end of it. And then just kind of like stares at everyone, and all you see is the kind of the smoke coming out of the lips. Goes, so, simple delivery job, eh? And then we cut, because we're done.
Yay.
So that was the end of session 6, everybody. Which I think is a good place to end, is the debrief, you know.
yes.
It gives us enough time to then concoct the retroactive what happened on that journey back bubble as well, so I hope you all have a good think about that for next session. What are we calling this one though, before everybody bails?
Oh,
I like the idea of calling it a wormhole situation.
A wormhole situation. Yeah. I have that written down.
Well, it sounds like we have a winner.
That does work.
I do like it.
Wormhole situation. Yeah, I mean, if nobody else has any other suggestions, I think that's auto one.
Go for it. Go for it.
I like that one.
I like it as well.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah, you go. Like, they're not always going to be difficult, which is good. Oh, I hate that when I copy paste Discord, it always just does this. Wormhole situation. Right, you know the drill. Let's start with Olka this time. What were your
Well,
interests?
there was quite a lot, but what I remembered from like the very beginning of the session was when the vest looked into like a mirrored surface, and we just joked that it startled him and he raised his gun. And I just like the idea of like this being a Vesk thing, that when they look in the mirrors, it's like a dog seeing a
Yeah.
it's like another dog.
Yeah, I like
To be
that.
fair,
Vesk
some
has no-
dogs pass the mirror.
They just have no concept of mirrors.
But how can that be me if I'm me? Take that, fake me! Yeah, I like that. What about you, Nico?
I'm trying to think out everything that actually went on. It was all I went on.
I'll be honest, I'm trying to pack as much into your time as possible, guys. I'm doing my best.
Yeah. I'm really to try.
I also, on that note though as well, I hope you don't feel rushed at stages. Primarily, I sped up the end of this part for the sake of getting Zigg in the game.
Which is probably for the best.
Yeah, which you're now in. Welcome in.
You say that now.
Yeah, I say that now.
Throws everybody into assembly. It was shiny things, please. But yeah, okay. Anything, Nico? We bought you some time there.
I'm trying to think. I'm still trying to think. It was.
Right, we'll come back to you, right? So we'll come back.
Yeah,
What about you, Alex?
Oh.
So, Colin?
Obviously.
Let him answer.
So obviously the captain's assumptions of Wormhole.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite
Great.
good. I like that that's why he's picked the title.
Yeah, that being the go-to belief, and then the general disbelief of everyone else.
Yeah, that was quite interesting.
I did enjoy that. I did like this. Total doubt instantly. Like, it was like, it's not a wormhole, is it? It's like, but it is. I'm seeing it with my two eyes. It's popping stuff out of nowhere. It's absolutely a wormhole.
Things that weren't here are now here. Wormhole. This is Vesk Physics 101.
Obviously the
I think you'll find
inability.
it Solarian physics, quite frankly.
I also like the inability for anyone to settle on a name for the ooze.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. It's like, it's an assembly ooze. The assembly gel! Yes, the assembly cube! I enjoyed that.
And yeah, obviously as well, having Zigg in is nice. I really liked just as soon as they wander off, that he runs up, nicks his back. So
I
that's
quite like
just-
that. Yeah, like a kind of well, he complains the least about this, so
Yeah,
I like that.
which makes sense.
See,
Um,
I initially thought maybe running up the Vesk's back, but I feel like the Vesk would not be too pleased.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we joked enough about you being nicknamed Medkit that I think it'd be okay. But you can all decide that between sessions about what's normal and what's
Yeah.
not normal for you guys to kind of
I mean, I'm a very
acclimatise.
tolerant Vesk, right? I mean,
So
This is
far,
true.
yeah.
I've no tolerated any of your heads off yet, right? I mean,
That's why Alice gave you a wide berth earlier. With her, like, mock whispering. Yeah, what about you, Colin?
Well, I enjoyed getting to play up the inquisitiveness of Lyko, which
Yeah.
is something that hasn't maybe had as much chance to come through. But that was fun. It was also, it was very entertaining. Like Nico's reaction.
Zora?
Thank you. Zora's reaction, which is another thing. Shit, not quite, but it seemed a very appropriate response for a Vesk taken by surprise. That was a lot of fun. It was also nice to just get like out of the station and get the situation resolved, because it sort of felt. I mean, obviously you're the only one who know this for certain. It felt pretty time sensitive in places. Like maybe I would have liked to stayed and explored, but there is always that stress of, are you making the right choice doing that? And just sort of having that off your shoulders is it's a nice little relief.
Yeah.
Because you feel like, okay, now we can do things, and I'm not constantly, like, I don't feel like there's a timer ticking away that I can't see.
Yeah.
Which is a fun
Which
a
is
fun
good.
situation.
Like, that's good to hear as well, because it means that the sense of pressure I need to instill in the atmosphere is translating. Because if you guys didn't feel that, then I'm not really doing my job right. You know what I mean?
Things were clearly not right in the station.
Really?
I think that is an understatement, in fact.
Maybe that'll go in your full report, like your after mission detective report that you
It's
do in
not
your
right.
downtime. when you-
Another me moment I liked was I literally decided. I know, but I'm going
Carry
to
on.
pat myself on the back more. It was actually patting Zigg in the head, because I felt like that was a complete spur of the moment decision for me. I hadn't decided how he was going to interact with him right up until then, and I just thought he's too enthusiastic for Lyko.
It was almost for me, it was almost the Drax kind of scratching the back of Rocket's head kind of moment.
Yeah.
Only slightly less heartfelt and slightly more patronising.
Yes, he's not a complete ass about it, but he is sort of like, I've just got back from this hell of a mission. Hi, hey you.
It's like maybe going through Lyko's head. It's every station has its problems.
Actually, he will be pretty pleased to be back in Amazon.
Yeah, definitely. It's quite familiar for you.
So yeah.
Right, what about you, Zigg? Sorry, there wasn't much more of Zigg, but
No. It was good. I have honestly really enjoyed a lot of Nick's Five's just offhand snarky comments. So like when Zora was, what do you know about wormholes? He's like, well, just don't go into it. And then later to Alice, when Alice was like, I don't want to go in there, and you're like, well, just don't fall into it then. It's fine.
yeah, literally, like, Nix is like, well, don't do that then. If you
Yeah.
don't want to fail, then don't fail.
Another Nick's Five moment is when he was just standing looking at the containment field, and it was just that so team nothing.
Yeah,
That was fantastic.
for me, I love the shot of behind Nix 5 and the big plastic wrapped thing, like the almost white opaque plastic, and it's just that zzz kind of ripping sound you get as the whole thing reveals, and then you go, so team.
Yeah, just fantastic. And one more thing, I guess, would be Emmelyn's just saying, well, the captain said it's a wormhole, so it's a wormhole.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah,
That's why
I was
he's the
laughing.
captain.
I was laughing.
Good point, yeah.
Crazy for that.
The captain said it was a thing, it's on my ship, get me back to my ship, please.
Yeah.
I feel like a good idea though is like Nick's totally knew it wasn't a wormhole because he knows I know nothing about science. So I'm just assuming this is a wormhole, right?
Yeah, but maybe
right
you
in
said
front
that
of me.
about when the plumbing burst in your crappy showers. And it's like, guys, there's a wormhole in here. The water wasn't here before. It's getting here now. Wormholes.
You've just been
not-
saying that to everyone.
I've got PTSD, alright, right? That's like Solarian school coming back to haunt me. It's like, oh, wormholes.
I like the idea that in maybe Solarian school as well, you have that like teacher that explains one day you might just fall through a wormhole accidentally when you discover your wormhole powers if you get that far. So don't panic, you will die. But never clarified if they meant if you panic you'll die or you'll die anyway. So
Yes.
hence the PTSD there. What about you, Nico? Did you think of any moments in the time they bought you?
Well, I enjoyed Zigg's little sun shiny moment between thinking of shinies,
Mhm.
creating shinies. I mean, it was a bit slapstick, but I really enjoyed the grenade moment.
I love the grenade moment.
I
I'm
love
not-
the grenade moment.
Having
That
lots
was
of chuckles in my head.
Again, it was very Vesk.
Yeah, right. I like it.
Yes, I like that. I mean, yeah, just the various doubting of the wormhole theory. But I mean, I just had to laugh at it. I was like, I mean, I didn't actually think it was a wormhole, but I thought to myself, right, I'm just going to call this a wormhole because, like, screw it, this sounds funny.
Yeah, plus I mean,
It's
like
totally
what
fun.
you think and what like your Vesk thinks is slightly different. You
Yeah.
know, like they're
Yeah,
not
for
always
sure.
going to like sync up perfectly. No, yeah, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed the session. Yeah, I thought I conveyed what I wanted to atmospherically. I think it was nice to hear obviously the feedback about the like you felt like you couldn't just hang about here and search the place, like looting the whole place. I kind of like that you ditched the computer for the sake of like actually we don't think we have the time to carry this back. Obviously it would have been an interesting boon to have with you guys if you could have salvaged it, but yeah, I like that it wasn't a typical RP. We've actually doomed the entire party by trying to get all the loot possible.
Yeah,
there-
we must loot everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think you did pretty well though, given what you have discovered. We'll go over more of that next week. In conclusion, I enjoyed this. This was always fun. I love running this game. I'm glad you are off the station, quite frankly, because it was stressing me out. Mostly I felt really bad for Alice. I'm like, they're gonna
Worked yourself into a shoot, brother.
just space her. They're gonna leave her behind. They're gonna tell her, okay, Alice, you need to pick up the anchor so we can leave. Goodbye.
Why would you do that?
Well,
Hey, my word
Emmelyn's
is
the
my
pilot,
word.
so
Yeah, well, that's yeah.
yeah, I really like the interaction between Emmelyn and Alice. I'll be honest, I quite enjoy the fact that she's always quite standoffish, and I really enjoyed Alice being like, "That's the most words you've ever said to me."
Yeah, actually, I would agree. I've
like
liked
that.
that Ellen just doesn't like her,
Mm.
and has been
Yeah.
pretty consistent in that.
He's not got a human brain. I don't know how to talk to her.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah, like you wouldn't have anything to connect to, so you'd feel like you were talking to a wall, right?
Yeah.
The other thing I will say, guys, is we will be spending a fair chunk of next week going over that downtime between jumps, so between drift space. I feel there's probably a lot of conversations that probably need to happen in that time, the debrief, if you will, of everyone.
Debrief.
Also, Alice is going to be a bit more acclimatized to you guys, at least, in that period of time. Maybe find a place for her in the crew, or decide she's not going to be in the crew. You can make that decision during the week as a team, if need be. I would like you guys to have maybe had a wee think about what you would like to do in the downtime that you have. Don't ask me how long you have, unless you can look it up. And then that's up to you guys to work out how much time has passed. But either way, it's the exact amount of time that it would have been needed to have passed. And we can work on anything in the meantime. However, everyone's level 2, so congratulations.
Yay!
We're also
Now I just need to figure out how to make myself level 2.
yes.
Yep.
It's easy enough. It is easy enough. You
If
just
I can give some advance warning, I will be there next week, but on the 19th, I may have to skip.
That's fine. We'll deal with it as and when. Just make sure we post everything I need to know in roll call.
and
or,
that's
Just
or-
while it was in my mind there.
or like private message me or whatever. Like whatever actually needs to be like said to me. Tag me. See if you're going to be posting things in roll call. You need to tag my name so I get it as well. Just so you know.
Okay.
Like I sometimes get notifications from channels. I just don't always get them, which bugs me to no end. I'll send this up just now. So it's there, if everybody could respond. Also, obviously, if your responses change on this, please then let me know, privately again, or whatever. I think in terms of that, so we're all going to be level 2 for next week. If we need help doing it, try and do it during the week, please. People can be made available, of course, I assume. I'll just volunteer everyone. It'll be chapter 2 we're stepping into. So I'll name chapter 1 for us, and we'll move past it. And yeah, we can all have a think about what you want to have talked about during that that gap, if you will. A gap's a bad word in this game, I know. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody who is listening. # Calum is precious. Smash that like button. Hello, Nick. And
Nick.
Hi, Nick.
And this wonderful blank space where I'll put in anything in post. Good. So yeah. Goodbye, everyone. See you guys next week. Goodbye.
Bye.